So you learn SQL and your career is not progressing. So what do you do now? SQL failed me, Rod. I really need your help. Should I quit? Should I do something different? Am I a waste of time? What should I do? Well, all of these are valid concerns and reasons where you feel like SQL letting you down, but it may be some external factors or some other factors that you need to consider before you go just jump completely off the SQL development ship. And we're going to cover 3 things in this video that you can really use to really progress your career and put you in a position so that you can win as a SQL developer. We'll go into these details and kind of make sure that you take the right steps and make sure you do what you need to do. Let me explain. Like I always say earlier, guys, SQL alone is not going to move the needle going forward because you already got companies that are established, that got systems in place, they got the reports, they got workflows, and just adding more code to that without really knowing what the real issues are is not going to move the needle that much. Yeah, when you're in a break fix mode or you're doing maintenance stuff, it helps on the back end of things where we're talking about real value that's going to help the company increase their revenue, help automate business processes for people. SQL alone is not going to do that. We kind of talk about this in my 7-step guide when it comes to step number 2, when it comes to projects. It's so important that you know what type of projects that moves the needle forward. You got different types of projects. Everything's depending on what the company needs and the value and all that stuff. But what you need to do is kind of take a step back, assess where you're at, and determine what will be your next steps. If I'm you, I'm looking at what type of work that I'm getting for this particular company. Is it a company that's stagnated? Is it a company that, hey, it's just not working out here? Maybe that's the issue. You got a lot of different variables, but the point I want to make here in this first point is writing code is not going to be enough. You have to move the needle from a process, or I would say a project, a business process, or some kind of larger impact. But we know writing code is not going to be that for you. So what do I do, Rod? First of all, let's do this. Share your experience with me. What have you been doing so far to improve your situation writing code, or what have you been doing in general? Comment below what's been moving the needle for you, or what have you been struggling with and what's not working. And then we're going to come up with a custom solution specifically for you so that you can be in a better position to have impact in the company that you work for. So comment below. Let's start a conversation. Number 2, guys, you got to check out your environment, the company that you work for. Company stagnation is a real thing. And depending on where you at, how long you've been doing it, how far your company's in the software development lifecycle, and what type of ERP system that you're using, it just have a natural ceiling. Because at the end of the day, if you're not necessarily moving the needle as an industry, everything below that's not going to move. You just got to switch companies and really look at what type of clients you have. Certain industries are slower than others. You got the governmental side, it's slower than, maybe the healthcare and the manufacturing side of things. You got professional services. That's a unique one because you have companies that are latest and greatest technologies, and you got companies that are not necessarily in the most innovative way. One of the sectors, which is tech, when I say a tech company, somebody who creates software or hardware, they are forced to usually be on the cutting edge, or at least somewhat doing, at least leveraging latest and greatest technology, unless you're some of the legacy players who just got a legacy market share of I would say an older technology that they know that they're just going to maintain that market share. But regardless, you got to identify what type of company you're working for, how aggressive they are when it comes to the software development side of it, and make sure, hey, from a SQL perspective, it's just not working. How do you identify these companies? We talk about this in our 7-step guide when it comes to making sure you identify what the company roadmaps are and being able to make decisions off of that. We do that earlier on in our 7-step guide, and links below for that. It's a free guide, so go check that out. And also, if you already got the 7-step guide and you really want to have a roadmap that's going to allow you to leverage SQL, take your career to the next level, even though you're not a developer yet, you're an aspiring developer. We got you guys covered on that as well. Links below, we got good rates on that, so go ahead and check that out. We're gonna really help you put your career in a successful path, guys. So let's go ahead and check those goodies out in the description box, and I'll see you guys. Number 3, guys, SQL is not going anywhere no time soon. So before you end up just saying I'm done with SQL programming, I'm moving to something else, every company has data they have to manage. Most companies going to use some kind of database or query language that's going to allow you to store, modify, and delete modified data. So at the end of the day, it's going to be an element that you have to actually consider. The question is how much of that you can leverage to make impact, and what options you have to be able to have the projects that's going to allow you to really move the company forward. And there's ways. It's just a matter of making sure you're in a culture of change management. They're happy with change when it makes sense, and willing to invest in technology that's going to allow you guys to leverage that data, that SQL, that's going to really put you in a high value position as a SQL developer. Your job is to just make sure you are in the right position to do that. And also, when that change is open and available, having the opportunities for the company, or the tools or opportunities to be able to say, hey, let's do this. It's been on the board for a while. We got these steps laid down. We can do the SDLC. We can create this project, and then just kind of start from there. I always say start small. Don't try to go too big. Get you some quick wins, build some morale, build some relationships, and expand from there, guys. This software development world, I tell you, it's something else. You'll have some highs and you have some lows. It's never going to be just consistent. Usually if it's just consistent, your career is stagnating, you're just doing the same thing. Eventually AI is going to come and grab you anyways. You're going to always have this as a developer, but it should be trending upwards. It should be starting down here and doing this. You should be trending upward. Once you start to see stagnation, you probably need to change your environment or change your approach or the technology that you're using. But it's always going to end up starting and ending with the fundamentals. So at the end of the day, we're here to make you guys create a plan, execute, and take your career to the next level. If you haven't already, links to the 7-step guide below. Go ahead and check that out. It's free. And if you already got links to that free 7-step guide, enroll in our 90-day developer course. We got good rates. It's going to help take your SQL skills to the next level and give you that plan that you need to really bring some structure to your career and put you on the road to success. And just wanted to kind of start there and help you guys out. Like, subscribe to the content. If you have additional questions, comment below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.